You want the camera a little more zoomed out, or is that
I
perfect?
think she's still a little fuzzy there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's weird that you kind of have to do like that.
Okay.
Kind of to just kind of, there you go.
Okay.
So you'll see like the little blue around her.
Okay.
And then you know.
Okay, got it.
And then let's zoom in a little bit and bring the camera down so there's less headspace.
Okay.
All right. Take your time when you're ready. Just begin.
What? Upset? No. I'm not upset. Why would I be upset? I forget.
All right, good. So, is the emotion real? Okay.
I just I don't know, it just left.
So do me a favor. Try.
Oh, I remember.
Okay. Try really hard not to cry, but give her the backstory that she's wrecked right now. But try really hard not to.
What? Upset? Why would I be upset?
Breathe.
No, I'm not crying. I said I'm not crying. I don't want your pity. I don't want a shoulder to cry on. I want to be left alone. Don't you get it? I want to be alone. I've always wanted to be alone. I never wanted to get close to anyone. And I guess I was closer to you than you were to me. Don't lie to me. I know you don't mean it. I don't want to hear any more lies. I don't want you to make something up so you can get out of this. I want to know the truth. I want to know why you are breaking my heart.
Okay, good. So, I'm gonna give some notes here. You can clap for her, yeah. Okay, so it's better and you're improving. So you must hear that. Did you soak that part in? Okay, that is all true. Now when you listen to tape, this is what I want you to listen for. It's so hard. I'm just going to tell you, it's so hard to find the emotional balance and be emotional without sounding whiny. Okay? So what you'll listen for is this sort of tone here. Okay? And even when the emotion's real, that note can come out. And for the most part, that's going to be unappealing. It's going to be a note that we don't want most of the time. So what you do, and that's why I said to breathe, you breathe and you find your strength, and then you speak through the emotion, through the tears, so we hear your strong voice coming out through a strong emotion.
That's
and then,
not whiny.
And it won't be whiny. It'll be resonant, and it will be something that we connect to. Okay? So you're going to her real feelings, and then this is sort of like the technique part of emotion, where I would say this isn't always what real life looks like. Real life a lot of times is pretty ugly when we cry and whatnot, and you're allowed to be ugly when you cry and sound that way in life and in acting. But ideally, for most of these pieces, we write about it because it's somebody's sort of coming out party, or it's their big moment where they're rising to the occasion. And so imagine being the person who is hurt and then standing up to the bully. It's a lot of those kinds of moments that we write about that become these monologues. So unless it's a moment where the person is completely falling apart all the way down, we want to find the strength. And then you can look and you can watch some great actors and see exactly the notes that I'm talking about. But that's what I want you to hear in yours, and then that's what I want you to work on. Do you have questions for me?
Nope.
Good job tonight. Very good.
You. This is not home. Home is where your parents put you to bed at night, or where they teach you how to ride a bike.
All right,
Or
well, I'm
where-
going to pause you here. So who are you talking to?
My sister.
All right.
Okay.
Why?
Because I'm expressing to her how I feel about the situation, and I feel like I'm not being heard, so I'm trying to express my feelings to her.
What did she say to you?
Well, she basically is saying, like, don't, like, this is your home, you need to deal with it, we are trying to hold things together, you know, and I don't want to hear it. Like, I
Okay.
want to be heard, I want her
And
to...
when she says this is your home, what does she want?
She wants, my sister or me?
Yeah.
My sister wants us to deal with, like, even though basically what it is, they lost their parents in a fire.
Right.
So basically she's trying to have me understand to deal with what we have now and, like, get through it, and maybe things will be better in the future.
And what do you want?
I don't want that. I want to be somewhere else. I don't like where
Specifically, what do you want?
I'm at. Tell my parents back. That's what I want.
Okay, but that's not an option. So what does she want in this moment?
Well, my character or her?
Your character.
My character, right now, I just want to be heard. I want her to understand me, and I feel like she doesn't understand and is not listening.
So why is she saying this is your home?
And I'm disagreeing with it.
Yeah, why? Like what?
Because,
So what do you want?
Because the situation we're in, the person that's taking care of us is not treating us right. We're not treating us like,
Yeah.
you know.
So what do you want to do about it?
I want to get out of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's your want. That's your big driving want, is to get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And you need to make that life or death.
Okay. So
This feeling of needing to escape, needing to get out of here. So when your sister, and I imagine that this is probably the peak of some sort of an argument or a discussion about
It
this,
is,
okay?
yeah.
So she came at you really strong, you're gonna have to come back at her stronger.
So not show any emotion, show more like frustration, you're saying?
I think you should show a 12 in anger.
So showing.
I think you should freak out and then let the emotion come from the anger,
Okay.
okay?
Okay, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put myself into a character with emotion like I did in the beginning, where I was very emotional, but I was having a bad day. So I'm trying to bring that back because you like that, but I just like
Yeah, no, but we talked about that. If you remember, we talked about that day, right?
Yeah.
Where I said, we're not always going to have a bad day, so what do we need to do? We have to put ourselves into the character's shoes.
Yeah.
What would make the character that emotional? What's going on in her life? What has happened? What has led up to this culmination, this moment? All right? And this is for everybody here. The emotion of anger almost always, if not always, stems from hurt. When we're hurt, one of the manifestations of hurt is anger. So if she's at a 12, then that hurt, the only way you can get to a 12 in anger is to be severely hurt underneath. And then you have to trust that the hurt will come out. You'll probably end up crying if you believe this. So it's like, what kind of way are they not treating you right? What kind of way are you being abused? Those are the specific things that you have to walk this character through so that you can live as her. So you're at this emotional peak, and she says, "This is your home." And you say, "No, this is not our home. We don't live here." And then why? And then what have they done to you? It's not like these people are loving you. It's not like you're being taken care of. It's like mom and dad died, and now I'm being abused. And maybe your sister doesn't even know to the extent that you've been abused. I mean, I don't know the story.
Yeah.
And depending on the piece, you can actually make some of that up, or you can bring your own life into it.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been noticing. I've been switching a lot of the lines up.
Well, I haven't noticed, but you
No.
shouldn't. If you ever
Okay.
do that,
Yeah, because I have, what I'm doing is I'm keeping the "this is not home" part, but I'm trying to add something different to the ending part, so then it's more easy for me to act on it. Than,
okay.
You know what I mean?
So you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't.
Okay.
You can, if you ever change a monologue, you have to change it, lock it in stone, and then that's the change. And usually it would be something that was agreed upon between the actor and the director. Otherwise, you're kind of making it up, and then you're leaving yourself in this place where you may or may not get there, whichever night that you're doing it. Okay. All right. Do a little bit more, and then we'll, because I
Okay.
gave a lot of coaching there.
So start from the beginning.
Yeah. We'll go maybe another minute, and then we'll move on.
Okay. This is not home. Home is where your parents put you to bed at night, or where they get all choked up on your first day. Oh shit.
Okay, so you have to go back to the memorizing block,
Okay.
and you have to do it the right way, and don't come in here unless you have it word for word.
Okay.
All right, next up.
I want you to know that I think you're a piece of shit.
You're getting caught in your diction.
What do you mean by that?
So you need to work really hard at your diction, but then I don't want to hear the work.
Okay. So just let it go. Just go.
Let it go,
All right.
but it's almost like showing off.
Okay.
I used to do this thing where if I ever got emotional, because
Yeah.
I wasn't good at it and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, if I ever got emotional, I would throw in one of these where I'd be like, and I'd really try to push out the tear, and I want everyone to pay attention to it.
Okay.
Instead of just feeling my feels.
Okay.
You've worked on the diction, but now you want us to know that
Got it.
you
Okay.
did the work.
All right.
Okay? You don't need to show it off.
No worries. Yeah. Start from the beginning?
Yes, please. So, and I saw your audition tape for Masterclass.
Mm-hmm.
You have a way about you right now as an actor that comes across unnatural. I've already said this to you outside of class. I've said it to you in class.
All right.
That's what I need to work on. Your very first and foremost thing for you is going to be real. I believe a lot of the other stuff is going to translate. Do you have any experience before this studio?
Not really.
Okay, not really. What do you have?
I'm into broadcasting, and when I was a kid, I was in some Walmart stuff.
Okay, no theater?
No.
Okay, good. And not good, but sometimes theater kids underneath the wrong direction can get bad habits. And you have what sounds like bad habits, but I think it's just you trying too hard.
Okay.
You have to not try, and you have to just be and just feel. So what I'd rather you do for tonight is nothing. Nothing. Just speak, don't perform, don't push your voice, nothing.
Okay.
Wait and breathe. Go ahead. See the
So
person.
just say my lines, or
No,
perform my
I
lines?
want you to just don't try to do anything.
Okay.
But so connect to the person and just listen to me and breathe into what's really you, your real voice.
I want you to know that I think you're a piece of shit.
Can still hear your diction.
Okay. I wasn't thinking about it at that time.
All right.
I want you to know that I think you're a piece of shit. I wanted to emphasize the t at the end.
Don't do it.
Okay.
See that's you try. I said don't try. I said
Okay.
do nothing.
All right. I want you to know that I think you're a piece of shit. You were never a man. You fucking ditched us for your own selfish needs.
Do nothing. Keep
And I
going.
hate you for it.
Do nothing.
The only reason I came this way is because of the promise I gave my mother.
Good. Breathe and feel.
She was the most beautiful, kind-hearted, loving human being a person could ever be lucky enough to know.
You're pushing. Don't push.
She raised me. She made me who I am today. If it wasn't for her taking on a role of a father and a mother, God knows what I would have turned into.
Good.
We used to wait in welfare lines together. Used to watch her as she fought tooth and nail just so I can have food in my stomach. Used to take the bus to town and she would pawn all of her valuables.
Do that again. Less.
Used to take the bus to town and
Less.
she'd pawn.
Less.
Used to take the bus to town.
Why are
and
you looking that way? You don't need to look that way.
Sorry. Okay.
Breathe,
Used to take the
breathe,
bus.
breathe. Say it softer. Say it less. Just tell us.
Used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables to make the rent, and she would always buy me an ice cream.
Good. Do it again. Get the whole line out together.
Used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables.
Yeah. Don't push all. Do it again.
Used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables.
Did it again. You pushed it.
Used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables.
No pause there. Do it again.
Used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables.
You pushed all again.
Used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables to make the rent, and she
Good. So you paused again after valuables. Don't pause. Do it again.
used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables
Pushed
to
all.
make the
Do it
rent.
again.
Used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables to make the rent, and she'd always buy me an ice cream.
Good. Do it again. Faster.
Used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables
Don't
to
push
make
all.
the
Do
rent.
it again.
Used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables to make the rent.
Good.
And
No pause after valuables.
used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables to make the rent, and she'd always buy me an ice cream.
Good. Do it again and physicalize it this time.
Used to take the bus to town
Move
and
your hands. Move your hands.
used to take the bus to town and
Don't
she'd-
look that way. Look at him. Look at who you're talking to.
used to take the bus
Hands in his face.
used to take the bus to town and she'd pawn all of her valuables to make the rent, and she would always buy me an ice cream, which somehow made me feel like everything was going to be all right. We used to wait in welfare lines together. Used to watch how she fought tooth and nail just so I can have food in my stomach.
Okay, good. Do you know why you're looking over here?
I don't know, it just happens.
Okay. So, what we just did is called master coaching.
Okay.
If you enjoyed that, you will like masterclass. If you didn't, you won't.
Okay.
Because oftentimes when people walk in the room for the first time, they get through maybe 2 lines of their 30-minute scene that they memorized, and we spend an hour on 2 lines.
Mm-hmm.
But we bring out the realness, we bring out the life in the
Okay.
play, and it's magical if you want it.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever heard, my wife was telling me this just the other day, because she's a vocalist and a pianist, and so she just now, but she was never professionally trained in college or anything for voice. So she's started taking some voice lessons recently. And she's been listening to a lot of videos online and stuff, and she's like, the master coaches, they remind me of you. She's like, they always do the stop, and she's like, those are the ones I want to listen to. I don't want to hear anybody who has me sing the whole song and then gives me a couple notes. Like, I want someone to work 3 notes with me over and over and over and over. Nope, yeah, yes, do it again. Nope, nope, nope. And that's what we can do when we earn it, and you did that tonight. But I want to make sure you know and understand what you're getting, and that you can watch it back and hear it, because you have to see it as a win. If you see it as a win, we're on the right track. And then you can listen to that back, and then you can apply everything that we talked about to the entire piece. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, good. Who are you talking to?
Allie,
Allie. Okay. Where is she?
right there.
Why is she over there?
Just the direction we're in, I guess.
Yeah. Keep your body where it is. Don't move your feet at all. And don't even move your shoulders, but bring it, let's put her here. Okay? It's Allie.
Am I okay? 7 years ago, you walked out of my life without so much as a goodbye.
Okay, do it again. You push the word my.
Uh-huh.
Who's Allie?
My ex-girlfriend.
Okay. And that's the story? It's his ex-girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Get rid of that little laugh in the beginning.
Am I okay? 7 years ago, you walked out of my life without so much as a goodbye. And I never heard from you again. You wanna know how I'm doing? I fought in the war. Finn is dead. That's how I'm doing. My dad sold his house, and we both sunk every single penny we ever had in buying and fixing this place up. And we did it. We built this place with our bare hands, Allie. Me hoping in some crazy way it might bring you back.
No, that was a fake sound. Do it again.
Me hoping in some crazy way it might bring you back.
What is that little timbre in your voice?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just doing that. I don't
Don't
know.
fake it. Don't fake it.
All right.
Just breathe, feel, and speak.
Me hoping some crazy way it might bring you back.
Yeah. See, that's strong, and that makes me feel a little bit more. Okay. Now, here's what I want to do. I'm going to do the beginning 2 different ways. All right. First, let's have you freak out, and I want to see how scary and mean and loud your instrument can potentially be. Okay, so you focus on Allie, and I want you screaming mad,
Just redo everything.
redo everything. And this is not the right choice. This is a choice I'm asking because I want to see as a coach what you're capable of right now. As scary, mean, loud as possible. Not right, scary, big, hands, like a freak out. Go.
Am I okay? 7 years ago, you walked out of my life without so much as a goodbye. And I never heard from you again.
Good, do that last line again and put the focus on heard.
Am I okay? 7 years ago, you walked out of my life without so much as a goodbye. And I never heard from you again. You wanna know how I'm doing? I fought in the war. Finn is dead. That's how I'm doing.
Good. That was pretty good. It wasn't scary.
Yeah. Alright.
Freak out.
Am I okay?
More.
Am I okay?
Go. Keep
7 years ago, you walked out of my life without so much as a goodbye. And I never heard from you again.
Good, more. Keep going.
Am I okay?
Keep going.
7 years ago, you walked out of my life without so much as a goodbye.
Good, don't start over. Keep going.
And I never heard from you again.
Keep going, more.
My dad sold his house
More.
and we both sunk
More.
every single penny we ever had into buying and fixing this place up. And we did it. We built this place with our bare hands, Allie. Me hoping in some crazy way it might bring you back. But it didn't. And now Dad's dead too.
Good. Now start over, and I want to see how soft and sweet you can be from the beginning.
Am I okay? 7 years ago, you walked out
Soft
of my life.
and sweet. This is not what's correct. I'll repeat that. I don't want you to play the monologue. I want you to play the note I'm assigning you. Sweet, like you're talking to someone you love. Sweet, smile, happy, like soft and sweet.
Am I okay? 7 years ago, you walked
Yeah,
out
that
of
was
my
good.
life.
That was good. Do that again. Do that again. And stay there. Stay soft and sweet.
Am I okay?
Good. Now breathe and keep focusing on Allie and keep smiling a little bit. Keep going. 7.
7 years ago, you walked out of my life without so much as a goodbye. And I never heard from you again. My dad sold his house and we both sunk every single penny we ever had to buying and fixing this place up. And we did it. We built this place with our bare hands.
Don't put that fakeness in there.
We built this place with our bare hands.
Yeah, good. You skipped the Finn's dead.
Oh,
Yeah. Now here's what's interesting.
yeah.
They're both good, and I think both those notes belong in this monologue.
Mm-hmm.
There was something super interesting about his smiling take, wasn't there? Because you're so hurt, but you're not playing the obvious. If you can be wrecked on the inside and then trying really hard to have the appearance of being put together,
Mm-hmm.
it'll make us feel more. And then you might let some of the emotion out, and then you might let some of the anger out, and then you might dial it back down.
Mm-hmm.
And then there might be that one tear that falls.
Yeah.
And then there might be like, all right,
Mm.
have a good day, or whatever, whatever the
Yeah.
ending is. Yeah, it's powerful. So I know Brian talked about it with the physicality stuff. This is what I call getting the shit out. And this wasn't shit, but the idea is you're gonna play big notes in different directions that aren't necessarily correct to see what you might find there. How interesting is it to confront your girlfriend with a soft, sweet smile to start? Is that more powerful? Maybe it is. You definitely come across as a jackass.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool without you. Like I'm really good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I've been great since you left. Since you walked out on me. So, yeah, I'm good. Oh yeah, my dad died. And I went to the war. Or Finn's dead. So, and you weren't here. So yeah, I'm good. I'm real good. And underneath the note is like what your thought is sort of like, you can almost hear me saying, yeah, I'm good, you bitch. You can almost hear the thought. That's what we want, is we want to pepper the note with a different thought that gives it some kind of a good sound, right? For without being weird, you're a beautiful man on camera. You've done a lot of good work physically. I know you've probably worked very hard for that. Therefore, this acting talent is going to go right alongside that. But you're going to get cast already as the guy who looks good in the T-shirt. Okay, great. You're going to land commercials for that. This is going to land you real roles, and it's going to land you like a career if you want it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to work your butt off for it, but it's all about you trusting the instrument that you've worked so hard for, and then letting yourself be true, be real, and be brave. And that's why I asked you to push it a couple different directions. I wanted to see where you're at. I think you gave me about a 7.
Yeah, I'll say 6.5.
Okay, in
Okay.
anger and whatnot, and and maybe about the same in vulnerability. But we'll keep edging our way, further out.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you.
Can I pull up a chair?
Yes, ma'am. Someone jump on that hot seat, please.
I walked home from school today. Normally, my boyfriend would drive me home, but since yesterday, he's not my boyfriend anymore.
Good. There's a breathiness to your acting right now. I'm not sure if that's always been there, but tonight I'm nitpicking. So, Are you brand new?
Yes.
So I shouldn't be nitpicking, but I'm going to.
Okay.
All right. So, what's happening here?
It's this girl that is just got broken up with yesterday,
Okay.
and she is basically like almost like I feel like she's talking to her therapist in a way,
Okay.
and is like sort of like not like angry, but sort of like still like taking it all in
The therapist?
to like to the therapist. Like she's trying to just try to describe it to the therapist of like, you know, walking home.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Is there anything else? Anything that's going on that caused her to be in the therapist's office?
I would say like, you know, that she went into therapy because like she is sort of like having problems at home, and her mother can't really help her, so the mom's trying to help her and
Got
put
it.
her in
So
therapy.
this would be last straw then, if all that's going on, plus the boyfriend now broke up with her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so what I want you to do is just take your time more, and here's the sound. It's very subtle. And you were so good. You tricked me. I didn't realize it was your first month. So good job.
Thanks.
The sound I want you to hear is this. The sound I want you to hear, it's this little breath that comes out at the end of sentences. And it's just a matter of you not knowing what or how to deal with your emotion when you're on camera. And what I want you to do is just settle down and let yourself just be to start with.
So like
Yeah, so find the person you're talking to.
I walked home from school yesterday. Oh, no. Sorry, my bad. Okay.
Go in close for me, please. Just wheeling as close as you need to.
I walked home from school today. Normally, my boyfriend would drive me home, but since yesterday, he's not my boyfriend anymore. So he didn't drive me home today. I walked home.
That was the breath right there. Are you searching for the next line?
No, I'm just trying to like study my heartbeat.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
And it was cold and cloudy and raining. It was raining when we went on our first date. Sorry, I'm trying to remember.
That's okay. So that's probably actually where the breath was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out, was just these milliseconds of you searching for the line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is totally fine. It's totally understandable. It's totally normal. But that's what you want to hear, and you want to like get to that place. Because then once we get to truth, it will feel different, sound different, and the lines will float away.
Okay.
I think we need something deeper. Do you know what this is from?
I tried looking for a monologue online, but like none of them really like felt. So I have this friend that, cause she's in this writer circle group in
Oh.
high school.
She wrote this?
She wrote this, yeah.
Did you ask her about it, or did she just say, "Here you go" and good luck"?
I asked her and I told her that I was really nervous and I couldn't find any monologues.
Well, so far I love it, but here's the thing. Here's what's amazing about that, and you can talk to your friend actually, because I mean, how awesome you get access to the writer. That doesn't always happen, but it seems to me here, and from the beginning of this, It's a rainy day. I mean, why is she saying all this? Why is she saying I walked home? Is the person she's talking to giving her a hard time because she was late? Or is she here for the first time or in an emergency meeting? Did she think about killing herself on the way home? Was she having these ultimate suicidal thoughts, and she's trying to describe the day, and someone was like, well, you've only got 10 minutes left, Julie, of our meeting, and I've told you this before. When you're late, it's disrespectful. Okay, so you get 10 minutes, that's it. And then you reply with that. Man, that shuts that guy up.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's the kind of you need some sort of a story that like really grabs you emotionally, that's going to pull you into it. Okay, and you can talk to the writer, and you can decide if you get to just do all of it yourself, or maybe she'll have some input, she or he. Yeah, I don't know. Is it a girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. All right. Good job. Remind me what I told you last time. Remind me what I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me? I'm
Yeah, you
asking.
to imagine, like, the letter that I got, to really feel it, to know, like, what it meant to me.
Okay.
So I have a bracelet that was given to me.
Good. Was that it? Was there anything else?
Yeah, it was just more of not being sloppy.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have this tradition.
All right. So I'll pause you there. So, who are you talking to?
I'm giving a eulogy to...
That's what I thought.
Mhm.
So, I didn't believe that. Meaning, you gave me the impression that you were either talking directly to camera or to one person.
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to do for us is when you look up, your first lines of dialogue are actually nonverbal. There's going to be faces out in the crowd. There's going to be this person who's passed away. There's going to be their parents out there. You'll see them. Maybe your dad or somebody who might not understand you or something. And then you're gonna see the people, and there's gonna be different places where you might land different ideas to what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And you've probably, this character probably has an idea of what he's going to say, but doesn't have it written down word for word. So then he'll be improvising based on what he's feeling from the audience. So you have to actually do the work to establish that first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I have this tradition. It's something I do when a friend dies. I save his Rolodex card. What am I supposed to do? Throw it away in the trash can? No, I won't do that. It's too final. Last year I had 5 cards. Now I have 50. A collection of cardboard tombstones bound together by a rubber band. I hate these fucking funerals, I really do. And you know what else I hate? I hate the memorials. That's our social life now, going to these things. Nick was a choreographer. Not many of you knew that. He was waiting to invite you to his big debut at the Carnegie Hall or some shit so you could all be proud of him. Oh, he was so good. He had such talent. Yeah. We're losing an entire generation. Young men at the beginning gone. Choreographers, playwrights, dancers, actors. All those plays that won't get written now. All those dances never to be danced. In closing, I just want to say I'm mad. I'm fucking mad. I keep screaming inside, asking, why are they letting us die? Why is no one helping us? And here's the truth. Here's the answer. They just don't like us.
Good. How'd that feel?
Felt weighty.
Okay. Wavy. All right, so the groundedness felt better, and I definitely believed before you started talking this time that you were at the eulogy, and you probably felt it better.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the time to breathe, to connect, to look around. We should know or have a pretty good idea or a pretty good guess, even if we've never seen the piece before, where you are, if you're doing your job right with your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it all comes from your imaginary work, and you write down, you can even map it out, like who's sitting where and whatnot. Now, here's where I want you to grow, and this is what I want you to listen for. You have to ask yourself the question, what words are the most important? What do I want to make sure that people hear? What's the point of every sentence? And if possible, you can, without slowing the piece down, without it taking longer, you can speak much slower by eliminating all of the pauses.
Mm-hmm.
So, trying to think of, there was one I had that was a specific one. Rattle off some of the lines toward the end.
We're losing an entire generation. Young men at the beginning just gone. Choreographers, playwrights, dancers, actors, all those plays that won't get written now, all those dances never to be danced. In closing, I just want to say I'm mad. I'm fucking mad. I'm mad. I'm fucking mad. I keep screaming inside, why are they letting us die? Why is no one helping us?
Yeah. So, and all of that can be slowed down depending on, when you listen to it back without the pauses in between. But the, why are they letting us die? Like, really slowing that down, because what's important, it's not the fact that you're dying. It's the fact that people are letting you die. People are looking the other way or facilitating, depending on your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
It's the letting us die that's so important. And that's that type of thing is what you want to listen for, and that will slow the pacing, therefore you won't be afforded time to pause anymore. Mm-hmm. And maybe you have one or two pauses, that's it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Secondly, try not to laugh at your own jokes. So if he gets a laugh from his audience, it should come after the joke.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the thing where he says, he wouldn't have fucking something?
I honestly caught myself laughing. I'm like, I don't even know why that came out.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know what part that was, to be honest.
The beginning, it was, he wouldn't want you to know that. You probably didn't know that.
Yeah.
He was going to tell you, what is that line?
He was a choreographer.
Yeah.
Not many of you knew that. He was waiting to invite you to his big debut at the Carnegie Hall.
Or some shit. Yeah.
So you ought to be proud of him.
Yeah. Or some shit, so you'd all be proud of him. That's when they laugh. That's when you might smirk or something, or some kind of a reaction to the audience's reaction. Mm-hmm. But he's not laughing coming into it. All right, good. Next. Huh?
It's a little crooked on the screen.
Oh, yeah, actually,
Mind if
yeah.
I adjust
So that
it?
actually the easiest way to get that is right here. Come way down, way less headspace there. Okay, anytime.
I don't know if I'll have time to write any more letters because I might be too busy trying to participate. So, if this does end up being the last letter, I just want to let you know that I was in a bad place before I started high school, and you helped me. Even if you didn't know what I was talking about, or know someone who's gone through it, it made me not feel alone. Because I know there are people who say all of these things don't happen, and there are people who forget what it's like to be 16 when they turn 17. I know these will all be stories someday, and our pictures will become old photographs, and we'll all become somebody's mom or dad. But right now, these moments are not stories. This is happening. I'm here, and I'm looking at her, and she's so beautiful. I can see it. That one moment when you know you're not a sad story. I forgot.
All right, it's a good start. So, how'd that feel?
It was alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why'd you pick this piece?
It was like the third piece I saw.
Okay. What did you like about it?
I felt it was like something that I could manage, even though this is like my first time, you know?
Like the length?
Yeah, well, not just the length, but like the emotion with it.
Okay. So you relate?
What do you mean?
Do you relate to the emotion of the character? What they're going through?
I don't understand.
Okay. So, what's happening in this? What's the person talking about?
So it's kind of like it's see, when I picked this piece I should have like gone deeper into it because
Yeah.
it's like a voiceover, really.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a voiceover that's explaining and diving into a time in people's lives in high school when you feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have romantic feelings and you have this and that and you know, high school is a weird time because it just ends.
Yeah.
You feel like you have this whole life and 4 years and you grow up a little bit, you have puberty hits, and then all of a sudden it's just like you're ripped out of it, and it's very strange, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit about what this character's talking about. So yeah, so I guess let's go back. We do the memorization, but then I really want you need to do the work even when you're doing voiceover. I would coach you, if I was coaching you to do voiceover for this movie, that you were talking to somebody. You'll pick a person that you can connect to and you can relate to so that that person feels something. And if that one person feels something, then the whole audience will feel something. Okay? It's this feeling of like looking out into the distance and dreaming or whatever, but you're talking to whoever it is, a best friend, somebody who needs to hear this information. All right, good. You have questions?
No.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm just nervous.
You're nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're doing great, and you're just new, and so I'll keep pushing you harder and harder the further we get into it. But for right now, you just keep making it your job easier by doing the heavy lifting on the memorizing side of things, so that you come in here with confidence.
Okay.
Yeah. Excellent. Good job. All right, we got a couple more before we switch rooms here.
Will everyone get to go?
What's that?
Will everyone get to go?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when Brian pokes his head in, what I'll do is have whoever's already gone head over to Brian's room, and then and if I need to finish the last couple with the other people in here, I'll do that.
Why are you doing this to me? Can't you see I'm already a wreck? Do you want me to go out of my mind completely? I have to deal with him, fold his clothes, make his bed, clean his vomit. And for that, he abuses me. Verbally, physically. But I won't abandon him.
Okay, good. You're doing very good with physicality. I see it. Good job. You worked on it. You're doing the look to the side thing. Okay? If you do something, let it matter. But try not to throw things away. Usually that means you're checking for line weirdly for 1 second. That's usually what that means. So if you're like, I clean his vomit. He's over there. And you're here. Like that would be a reason to move.
Okay.
You can think, but you must be thinking as the character.
Right.
Okay? You got caught thinking as the actor a couple times. Okay? Go again. Surprise yourself and surprise me. That's your only direction, as I must be surprised. If I'm not surprised, you lose.
Why are you doing this to me?
I'm not surprised.
Can't you see I'm already a wreck? Do you want me to go out of my mind completely? I have to deal with him. Fold his clothes, make his bed, clean his vomit. And for that, he abuses me. Verbally, physically. But I won't abandon him. Because I believe I can help keep whatever good he has left inside. No matter how horribly he treats me, there's still something virgin in him. He's only going to do this once. No? He's a bastard. I hate him. I must hate him. But watching him helps me cope, okay? It gives me my own understanding of this effed up life we live. I can't explain it to you. You're like a big puppy who never listens to reason. You bounce around all day like everything's okay. Like nothing matters. Children? Now I'm pregnant. Happy? Oh yeah, look at your face. Will the giant puppy become a man? Huh? All you do is lick, bark, and wag your tail. I can't do this. You don't love me. Tell me the truth. Do you love me? See.
All right. So my only barometer for success is growth. This is better and you are growing. That is good. What is not good is you failed on my direction. Because I said, surprise me, surprise yourself. What does that mean to you when you hear that?
Like go in a different direction?
Push,
Or-
weird,
yeah.
do something way out of the box.
Mhm.
What that does for you and what it's going to do for you when you can get yourself there. It takes an enormous amount of guts.
Yeah.
There's a thing I call disturbing the air. Disturbing the air means like we just change everything and it gets everyone to sit up on their seats a little bit. People in the crowd might be a little relaxed. It's like, oh, it's class. Oh, it's her time to get critiqued. No, you demand their attention. How? You do something that's so out of the box that we can't not listen because we're afraid if we don't listen, we're gonna miss it. It's like going to the bathroom during a baseball game. It's like I've been sitting here watching for 4 hours. Nothing's happened. I go to the bathroom, home run, great. You know, demand it.
Okay.
So next week, here's what I want from you. Ferocious.
Okay.
Ferocious. All right. We're done. I got 3. So I'm thinking, why don't you take everyone else who's already gone and bring them over, and I'll finish the last 3 while you start with everybody else. Okay, cool. Great. Sounds good. So send everybody to the in. Do you want me to, are they on break? You want to go on a break, or are we just going to keep plowing through?
We can do a break for everybody except for these 3.
No break for you!
Everybody else break.
Or we could just break and I can just take them with them.
Don't walk.
How many do we have on the split?
You have 11 in the other room.
Thank you.
So I just have to go faster.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
did
Keep
this
this group.
week,
I'll
I
hold
couldn't
I'll hold
tell
break
you
for this.
about the lines because I wanted to change the ending
Yes.
where it's much easier.
Yeah, call in. That's fine.
Okay.
Hang it out.
All right, we're good.
I'll shut the door.
Thanks. Can you take your earring out?
This one?
Is it possible?
Yeah.
How about the other one?
Yeah.
And the other one.
Oh, for it.
It's a bird.
Is that bad for your ears? Is this a bad thing that I'm asking you to do?
No, that's all good.
All right.
Did you want to go while I do this, or?
Let's do that. Let's switch.
Oh,
Yeah. And then I'll just tell you too. I'm gonna have you take off your shoes and socks if that's all right too.
Yeah, that's fine. Perfect.
Anytime.
Well, well. What a glittering assemblage, King Stefan.
Okay, good.
Roy,
So we'll pause there.
Okay.
Who are you talking to?
the king.
Great. What does she think about the king?
She hates him.
Cool.
Okay.
So, what I'd like to see is her soaking him in.
Okay.
Maybe she looks him up and down. And you basically should be sharing what you think of him in your thought life and then covering it up with what you're saying.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'll use a different bad guy. We've got Jafar from Aladdin.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen Aladdin?
Yes. Mhm.
He's the Sultan's right hand man who's evil, and he's like, oh Sultan, you look so handsome today, or whatever. And he's just totally lying, and you can hear what he's thinking underneath is, I think you're the most idiotic,
Yeah.
tiny little man who has no power, and I can manipulate you because you're so dumb.
Gotcha.
So you're gonna put thought life in, but you really gotta see the person you're talking to.
Okay.
Okay. Breathe, connect, anytime.
Well, well. What a glittering assemblage, King Stefan. Royalty, nobility, the gentry. How quaint, even the rebel. I must say, I really felt quite distressed to not receiving an invitation. Oh. Oh dear, what an awkward situation. Why, no. And to show that I bear no ill will, I too shall bestow a gift on the child. Listen well, all of you. The princess shall indeed grow in grace and beauty, beloved by all who meet her. But before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and fall into a sleep like death, a sleep from which she will never awaken. Thank you.
Good. All right. So you still have more memorizing to do. Do you know that?
To the end of the curse line, yeah, I believe.
Well, I mean, yeah. So right now, I can hear you having to remember.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
So you just have to work harder at it so that you can be free from it.
Okay.
Okay. When you'll notice that when you move right now, you don't have strength. You must have strength when you move.
Okay.
She is very much in control, and the room feels awkward. Speaking of disturbing the air, she disturbs the air.
Yes, that is her energy.
Yes. And at the end, she is sadistic. She is evil. She is pure evil. She does intend on cursing someone to death. That's her intention. For real, right?
Yes.
So you have to let yourself tap into that when you get to the spell part. It's almost like the devil himself is taking you over.
Evilness.
Evilness.
Okay. I'll work on that.
Okay.
Alright, next up.
What?
You can
Sending it in?
Yeah, send them in. I got these last two.
Okay, guys, let's begin. If you were in my room, head in here. If you were in Matt's room, head in my room.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears! I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him.
Okay. Put your shoes on only and not your socks. I gotta take you someplace real fast.
Did you make that? No.
And with this group, you happen to be the second group this week, but then you'll be first again next week. So we'll go a little bit quicker tonight, and then we'll really get more time next week. Take a breath.
Did you go live?
Thank you. I did.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar.
Go back to Barry.
Barry?
Yeah.
Right.
It sounds like you're angry there.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
About Caesar?
About him being dead, yeah.
Yeah, but when you say that line, what do you mean?
So, he's here to just to kind of clear Caesar's name because they've been,
Yeah, right. So my thought is that he's not saying I want to bury this man. He's saying almost I'm here to respect the dead.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's what he means by bury. He means I'm here for a funeral.
Right.
I'm not here for political gain.
Okay.
But some are using this event for that purpose.
Right.
Some are focusing on one aspect of this man's life and forgetting everything good. I'm here to speak the truth about the life of this man. Was he perfect? No. But he was my friend, and I will tell you the truth about him. That's what I think that is. So when you say you're here to bury him, I don't think you mean bury him. I think you're saying bury him is the opposite of anger.
Gotcha.
Go back to that line. Take a breath.
I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here on the leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man.
Do that again. Don't put the fake in there.
Here on the leave of Brutus and the rest,
Remember the echo I taught you.
here on the leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men? Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal. I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason! Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. See?
All right. Good. Hold on. Real quick, let me give you a quick tip. So, what I want you to see on your notes are going to be avoid this as much as you can. You put a lot of like the angst into your face. I think you need to be in a sheet.
Like an actual sheet?
You'll notice how differently you move.
Okay.
That's why I had your shoes off. I forgot to tell you to take them back off again. But the truth is, you will move differently.
Okay.
If a sudden movement and we can see underneath the sheet, you won't move like that.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's this aristocrat, thinker, politician. He will feel deep feelings, but he'll never lose his cool. There's a difference. Okay? So he's going to feel all these things, but he'll never lose character. When you practice, and you might even want to just do it. You got to hit that. There's a spot outside I could show you guys. It's really cool. It's just like Colosseum. If you stand outside the studio and you face the airsoft place, there's a spot where your voice echoes. It's unbelievable. It's really cool. And you'll say hello, and it goes hello. And that's what it was like. It was like having this microphone that could just project to a million people. And the architecture is built like that. But it will slow you down because every word must echo back to you, or the people didn't hear it.
Right.
Good.
Right.
Good. Can I, someone take the hot seat, please, and then if I can get a volunteer on camera, that'd be great.
Piece of paper I could play with my
I
hands?
don't, right here. Anyone got a piece of paper?
Oh, yeah.
It's just more of an artistic choice thing.
Just like a
Just
drawing?
like something I tear apart. It's like this one's like angels.
Try that again. That was so good. It was so good. Be really careful about your mouth, and like when you find a place to be, try really hard to stay there until you have to move again. I loved the very beginning, but then I didn't like you did something to your face almost like you were trying to transition to something else. I want you to get really disciplined about trusting your thought life and just staying. You are enough. And if I may, you look beautiful on camera. You really do. And beauty comes from truth and honesty.
Angels. Where's my angel? They say it's my mother's brother.
But he must be crazy to look out for me. How can an angel keep up? How can an angel, my angel, not get tired of my behavior?
So who are you talking to?
Myself.
All right. Can we play this as if you're looking out a window, maybe? And just stay right out past camera. See if you can stay there, chin on a shelf, don't move.
Angels.
Get rid of that mouth thing, do it again.
Angels. Where's my angel? They say it's my mother's brother, but he must be crazy to look out for me. How can an angel keep up? How can an angel, my angel, not get tired of my behavior? I should pray for my angel instead.
Say that again.
I should pray for my angel instead. I should care more about him than he does for me. Is he getting enough sleep? Does he even need to be sleeping where he is?
Breathe, breathe. Keep your eyes up, keep your eyes up. Just breathe, relax.
Is he
Relax,
stressed?
untense yourself.
Does he stress over the bad choices I've made? Does he cry when I cry?
You look like you're pushing an emotion, so just you don't have to. You're going cross-eyed almost. Hold on. So just be you. That's right there. That's it. You just have to be there. Nothing else.
From the start or from where I was?
Right there. No, right there. Keep going.
Does he cry when I cry? Bleed when I bleed? What made him choose me? I don't deserve to have an angel. Not sure if he can even make a difference.
Look out and see a star.
Wonder if he hears me when I try speaking to him. I wish I knew.
Go to the moon.
Do you hear me, Uncle Edward? Do you ever listen? Maybe if there was a sign,
Do less. Do less. Bring it down.
if there was some way he could show me that he was real, maybe then I could believe. Maybe then I could try and be better. See.
Good. That was excellent. You're gonna like the way that turns out. There's more to do there because you're still bringing some tension. You just have to release the tension. Release you trying to do anything. It's about, that's all it really is right now. But when you're just you, it's phenomenal. You gotta trust it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, here we go. We're gonna hit the gas here, people.
Anything I need to know? Anything
Yeah,
different?
you need to be awesome, bro.
Cool.
You gonna be Mafia again? All right. So here's what we want to think about. What do you want?
In general, or
Yeah.
this scene?
The character.
The character, he wants the guy he's talking to die. And then he wants to head out to Israel.
Okay.
That's the plan.
He wants that from this monologue?
No, from this monologue, he's telling him, can I swear?
Yeah.
Look, asshole, I know you killed my friend. Don't ask me about what I had to do.
What you had to do.
I killed his friend. And he's saying, who said that was cool? And I'm saying, really? You got a problem with that? Because I didn't have a problem when you killed my friend.
Okay.
But this whole movie is trying to kill Michael Corleone.
Yeah, sure. And so Michael has confronted him at this point?
Yeah, he's saying who gave the order to kill my friend.
Okay. Is this character at all intimidated by Michael at this point?
Not at all.
None.
None.
Is he a different boss?
He's not his. He's. Do you know who Meyer Lansky was?
No.
Oh, okay. So he's kind of one of the guys who started one of the 5 families, but he's not his boss.
Okay.
This guy grew up with Michael's father.
Okay. Is he standing at the time?
Yes.
Is Michael sitting?
No.
They're both standing.
Mm-hmm.
Is Michael fired up?
Yes, but not showing that
Yeah.
emotion.
Yeah, right. Okay. So what you must do here is fill your mind with active thoughts that are not the words that you're about to speak.
Okay.
Some sort of beginning to this might be something along the lines of, who the fuck do you think you are, you piece of shit? You think that, and then you smile with that thought, and you tell this little story
Mm-hmm.
to this. I mean, you kid, your dad was putting diapers on you when I started
Mhm.
the game. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Are we
all thought life.
Chin thing, or we a little more movement these
You
days?
can do whatever you want.
Okay.
What you don't want to do is be weak. So this is weakness. That's
Mhm.
why I had you bring it down.
Mhm.
Because you know, if I just switch to me here, you were doing a little bit of this,
Mm-hmm.
and I was telling you to come here because I'm not. It's like a bull, right? I'm not afraid.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm afraid, I'm right.
Mhm.
That's the difference. Too much. Think it and look at him. Don't do it. Don't show it. Think it again. Just think and speak.
There was this kid I grew up with.
Perfect.
He was younger than me, sort of looked up to me, you know. We did our first work together. Worked our way out of the streets. Things were good. Made the most of it. During Prohibition, we ran molasses to Canada. Made a fortune. Your father, too. As much as anyone, I loved him and I trusted him. Later on, he had an idea to build a city out of a desert stopover for GIs on the way to the West Coast. That kid's name was Mo Green, and the city he invented was Las Vegas. This was a great man.
All right, so I'm going to pause here so I can give you a tiny bit of coaching and then we'll
Yeah.
be done. So, what happened was we ended up earning a very good thought in the beginning. Then you didn't keep thinking. The character must think. That's the work. So, what can you do to keep an active thought life that can keep you in place? When you watch this back, you'll notice it almost sounds like you're bored at times. Like the character's bored.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then I notice your eyes darting where I see actor thinking. Character must maintain that sense of confidence, and you had it. We did pull it in the very beginning. It's much better than when you kind of laughed into it, because that's you showing it. When you just spoke on the thought, this tiny smirk came out, and it was like, this dude's bad. Okay? So that's where we're heading. And I mean, you're excellent, but what I'm nitpicking you on now is next level stuff. Okay? Stuff you don't get away with. You'll never be leading man until you get this.
Right.
Okay? You'll be the cop who pulls somebody over and
Mhm.
says, let me see your registration,
Right.
and that's it. Right?
Right.
To be able to put 3 or 4 or 5 of these thoughts together and stay in character, that's this next level for you.
Gotcha.
Okay. Good. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna be more quiet now. Did you grow from last week? Did you watch your tape?
Yeah.
Good, because if you didn't, I was gonna throw something at you.
Okay, hold on. Let me get into.
Yeah, take your time.
Hey, why should I be mad? I'm just saying, at least he said goodbye this time. I just wish I hadn't wasted my money buying this stupid present. You know what? You ain't gotta do nothing, Uncle Phil. And like I'm still 5 years old, you know? And like I'm be sitting up there asking my mom every night, you know, hey, when's Dad coming home, you know? Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basketball. I learned, didn't I? I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil? I got to my first date without him, right? I learned how to drive. I learned how to shave. I learned how to fight without him. I had 14.
You checking in on me to see what I think about it. All right, since you stopped, we'll stop. That's all right. What did you think?
It's because I was practicing it really hard.
That's okay. So what did you think of it?
I don't know. It's just not what I wanted.
What's not what you wanted?
This whole the emotion part. I don't know.
What did you want?
I just.
You wanted to lose your shit on camera?
Yeah, I wanted to look cool.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Can you relate to this kid?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so here's what you gotta do. Do you respect Denzel Washington as an actor?
Yeah.
Watch a movie, you pick it. Rewind, play, rewind, play. Listen to that man's diction. Even when he's playing somebody in the hood, you listen to his diction and you're gonna go, it's unbelievable. We must hear the words, and you must hear the words. You must process the words or you won't feel. Okay, number one. Number two, there's no right way to do it other than honest. So you did the right thing by not trying to fake an emotion. Now what you must do is learn to prime your instrument before you walk in, and then you need to have this moment of surprise. That's what hurts. What hurts is that he's not, the dad's not coming. You just hear the information. Like a gunshot to the stomach. So in order to feel that, you must well up all this expectation, all this hope in one direction in order to let it be brought down. So you can write out your own stories and you can write out this character's stories of all the times he's been kicked in the balls by his dad. You didn't do bad. You shouldn't be disappointed. That's the lesson. Take the lesson. Watch the tape. You'll love the tape. You look fine. You look good, right?
Yeah.
But you graduated beyond that. You graduated. Good for you. You graduated. I don't care how I look anymore. Now I want to be excellent. Because I tasted that once, and that tastes good. I want more of that, right? Great. So now I've given you the tools of what to do. And Brian helped everybody with physicality. That's going to help you too. Because you're going to find the physicality, whatever it is, that you can do in that chair, so that when you stand up here, it's just on the edge, and you just explode into it. And then you surprise the hell out of me and you.
Yeah, I know. Cause I tried it. I did it by myself, like, you know, in front of the mirror, and it was perfect. It's just
But there's no such thing as perfect. It was really good. It was an honest take. That's awesome. Now do the work. The work, separate from just practicing, is going to be the stories. You have to know him like the back of your hand. You must become this guy. Otherwise, it's going to be an accident of whether or not you hit it or don't hit it. We don't want it to be an accident. We want you to relive the moment. Okay? It sucks to do it awesome in front of the mirror and then not on camera. I get it. I get it. I was your age. I had a director, idiot director, tell me, all right, give me 80%. Moron. I gave him 80%, and I gave the take I wanted to give. And I was too young and immature and had no idea what the hell I was doing. And I couldn't even come close to it when they were rolling camera. Not even close. And I just was like so mad. I was mad at him, I was mad at me. It just is the worst. So I feel you. But I'm trying to give you the tools that I didn't have then. That's what you gotta work on. Because you can recreate it, but it's more about recreating truth, not trying to recreate a performance you did in the mirror. Good. Have a seat.
Hi, Matt. I actually had a question. In my tape that I was watching, I was closing my eyes like that continuously.
Yeah, didn't I say something about it?
Oh, no.
Oh, well, don't do that.
How do I actually stop myself from I didn't even know it while I was performing last week, but then when I was watching myself, I couldn't go through it without being bummed that I was
Yeah. So basically, you have to practice. That's something I used to do as well. There's about 3 things that are bad. There's a lot of bad habits that everyone has. There are 3 that I share with certain people. One is losing my breath. I would lose my breath and I'd choke up when I got nervous. 2 was blinking. And 3 was the over facial acting stuff. Okay. So in order to overcome that, you must focus. I'll do staring contests and all whatever, but you start to realize, oh, this is a thing I do. I didn't realize when I'm under pressure. Because it's not who you are and it's not what you do, but it's what you do when you get a certain way. And then as soon as you notice it, then you just overcome it. So tonight, that can be a focus. Yeah.
Can I lean back on this?
Can you lean on it? Yeah. You can raise it actually. There's a little lever underneath.
A hand one.
Right there, yeah. Perfect theater tape.
Yeah.
Are you gonna stay there?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a little bit, yeah.
All right. He's gonna make it work, camera woman. Okay.
No one buys stock unless he thinks it's going up. And going up now. It's your job as a stockbroker to convince your clients to buy before the takeoff happens. Suppose your client says, I'll think about it, I'll call you back. He's not gonna call you back. You're dead. No one calls back later. It's your job to create urgency. And whoever speaks first loses. And this is where the sale begins. You, as a salesperson, are almost hoping. Your client says no.
Keep going, be more of an asshole.
It's your job as a client.
You think the person you're talking to is a absolute moron.
You, as a salesperson, are almost hoping your client says no. Because then you can go do your frickin' job. But it hardly matters what the client says. Because if he thinks that the stock is going up, the only thing stopping him from continuing the sale is that he doesn't trust you. And why should he trust you? Why should he?
Keep going.
You're a freaking salesperson
Keep going.
after all.
Insult them. Keep going. You're a freaking salesman, you piece of shit. Keep
You're
going.
a freaking salesperson after all. So what do you do? What do you say? What do you say? You could say this. Let me ask you this. Had I been your stockbroker for the past 3 to 4 years, and had I been making money for you on a consistent basis, would you say, I'll think about it, I'll call you back later. Or what
Okay,
do you
so
say?
at that point in the monologue, he's playing a character.
Yep.
So you have to change. So you're going from being an asshole
To like
to
to
being
lie.
to being a snake oil salesman.
So what do you say? What can you say?
Like
You could
what?
say-
Yeah, when you could say when you get to the salesperson part. Let me hear flirtatious. Let me see how that sounds.
What do you say? You could say, let me ask you this, sir. Let me ask you
Flirtatious,
this.
flirt, get a date.
Let me ask you this. Had I been your stockbroker for the past 3 to 4 years, and had I been making money for you on a consistent basis, would you say, I'll think about it and I'll call you back later? Or would you say, make 3 to 4,000 shares of this particular stock? That's what I thought.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good. Okay. So we'll pause there for time. Be careful of the word "I." So there was a language barrier thing, but a lot of people do it. So you said, "That's what I thought," instead of saying, "That's what I thought."
That's what I thought.
No, not I.
That's what.
That's what I. That's what I thought.
That's what I.
No, don't
that's
push.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
Okay, got it. That's what I thought.
No.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Do you think I'm attractive? Yes. That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
No.
No, that's what.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
No.
Sorry.
So focus on that, but that's a memorization thing where you get stuck in a memorization thing, whatever that is. You're very good with your English, very, very good. So I would listen for the words, whatever the words are that are still tying you up at times or still sound different. And if you don't know what they are, ask somebody.
For sure.
Okay? The reason is because accents are so friggin' attractive and valuable in the United States. It's like when you can have an accent and have great diction, you're gonna book like a maniac. Because everybody loves it. Like, I love the sound of it. I'm sure everyone else in the room does too. There's a nice sound. So your job, it's like, what's her name? Sophia yeah, right?
Oh my gosh,
She has to suffer for every word. She suffers through it.
Right.
But she earns it, and then it's like, oh, it's so fun to listen to that person talk. All right, good.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Push. Oh,
I am. I'm gonna stay seated.
Right. Let me.
No, stay in. I want to see eyes.
That.
We talked about the starting position. Be careful of that.
Is
It's not neutral. It's forward.
okay. Dear Al, big week at Fun Home. Couple of kids from Lock Haven wrapped their car around a tree and I ended up working 2 18-hour shifts. Bad for my blood pressure. Anyway, that's why I've been out of touch for a bit. Oh, by the way, we got your letter. Well, kid, talk about a flair for the dramatic. As far as I see it, the good news is you're human.
Do that again. Get rid of the breath. You're looking up too much. Get through some of the letter. You only look up when you have to. Keep going from right where you're at.
What does that mean? What else would I be? Your mother's pretty upset. Not surprising, I guess, but I'm of the opinion that everyone should experiment. Seriously. I can't say, though, that I see the value of putting a label on yourself. There have been a few times in my life when I thought about taking a stand, but I'm not a hero. Is that a cop-out? Maybe so. It's hard sometimes to tell what really is worth it. God. The tone is what I can't stand. I mean, it's so typical. So all-knowing. He has to be the expert. Lots of advice and wisdom on something he knows nothing about. I'm gay, which means I'm not like him. And I've never been like him, and he can't handle that.
Good. Who are you talking to? Not the letter. Who are you talking
Yeah.
to?
At that part, I got into rehearsed and dropped who I was talking to. So I'm talking to my girlfriend. My
Great.
fiance.
Great. And see, right there, now you got yourself where you need to be.
Which, yeah.
Because you mentioned fiance and you went like this.
Yeah.
Okay? That's where she starts. Now, who's the letter from?
My father.
Your father. How does she feel about her father?
Mixed. Like, I want his approval, but we've never really seen eye to eye. Not just because I'm gay, but, like, there was always something. Like, he always had an opinion about everything I did. And so that's what I was figuring out is I wrote him to tell him because the next step would be...
Did you write out the letter?
That I wrote him?
No, that he wrote you. Is it on the paper?
Yeah.
Good. You should have someone else write it for you in different handwriting and then read it. And then just really read it. Just get through the whole thing. And then it doesn't sound that bad. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what's interesting, actually, I believe, is that she comes out of it and says, it's the tone. It's because she can hear what's under.
Right.
She can hear, she's listening to him going, oh, I'll say this.
Yeah.
Oh, right? And so she's saying it a certain way, and maybe her girlfriend's like...
Right, that's why I was trying to have the interaction right with the seriously, and then she's like, keep going, and I'm like, okay.
Right. But my point is, you were really dragging it out way too much.
Okay.
Instead of just like getting right where you are in this like sort of like girly place and going like, okay, I'm nervous, and then you just read it, check in a couple times, but just really get through the letter. And then afterward you can reflect on it and share feelings, and you'll feel yourself move and react differently.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be legs crossed or whatever, but that's what I wanted was and it's great. So it can be that. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be. So we just want to get you into a position that feels sort of comfortable, and then you can adjust out of it, and then you can have even more and more feelings throughout the piece depending on what you're saying.
Okay.
You know, because from there, how big of a move is it to put the letter down? How big of a try it. How big of a move is it to flip over the letter? Right? How big of a move is it to take your legs down? It takes a lot.
Yeah.
So you'd have to stop, you'd have to feel, you'd have to adjust. A lot of things would happen, which would tell your girlfriend or fiance something. All that movement, and you may not bring your legs down. I don't know, but it's just sort of like what all is going on in there, and that's all of that little tiny stuff is important. So when you drag out the beginning, we don't get the opportunity to see the big shift.
Okay.
So let her just read the letter, then makes whatever the adjustment might be.
Okay. Because I feel like that's why I was leaning in, is because I'm nervous in the beginning, and so I'm like wanting to get close. You know what I mean? Like is where that was coming from, was wanting to get closer to her, to be like, I don't want to read this because I have hope that maybe it went okay, but I know, you know what I mean? It's like the back and forth, like I know it didn't, but Maybe it did.
What did you send him?
I told him about her.
Okay, and he didn't know you were gay before?
I hadn't officially said anything.
Okay, now it's official.
It was my official.
Now it's
because the
official.
next-
You know what? I didn't call him. I decided to write him. He wrote me back. Put your legs up. Read the letter. There's your girlfriend. Look at her. Read the letter. Nope, too much. Read the letter.
Dear Al, big week at Fun Home. A couple of kids from Lock Haven wrapped their car around a tree, and I ended up working 2 18-hour shifts. Bad for my blood pressure. Anyway, that's why I've been out of touch for a bit. Oh, by the way, we got your letter. Well, kid, talk about a flair for the dramatic. As far as I see it, the good news is you're human.
Too much. So all that. Try to just say it. And then when she says it, like, what does that mean? I feel like it's like this internal thought, or it's going to be a stop, look, and then speak. But try not to act it out. That's the thing that I'm trying to shift with you, Sam, is the acting out the moments.
Okay.
Just there, one more time. Just that part.
As far as I see it, the good news is you're human. What does that mean? What else would I be?
Good. All right. And that same moment could happen over tears. Right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
It could. You're human.
Yeah.
Why does he have to say that?
Yeah.
Is that so? I'm just saying, like, whatever the feeling is, let it feel, let it happen, and then move on. All right.
That's funny.
I know it is.
You farted. All right.
Honesty? Okay. Honesty. You give up too easily. You don't get validation, you walk away. You don't get enough attention, you take some pills.
Okay, do it again. Stay right there.
From the top?
Right there. From the top. Go. Do not stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Honesty?
Keep going. No
Okay.
pause. Do it again.
Honesty? Okay. Honesty. You give up too easily. You don't
Good.
get validation.
Take the question mark off honesty and just go.
Honesty? Okay.
No, honesty. Okay. Because you're like just go right through it.
Honesty? Okay. Honesty.
There.
You give up
And there's
too-
the breath. There's
Yep,
the pause.
yep.
Get rid of that. Go again.
Honesty? Okay. Honesty. You give up too easily. You don't get validation, you walk away. You don't get enough attention, you take some pills. That's the problem with you, really. You were overindulged as a child by your parents. You were impatient and spoiled and entitled.
There you go. So you're losing line. I can see
Mhm.
it. I can feel it.
I did the wrong order of those things, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So you know the piece. This is the coaching. This is where you got to grab this. And is it gonna feel weird to you guys? I said this in the last class. My wife is taking a voice lesson. She and she's been watching master coach vocal teachers. She's already a vocalist, but she's just taking lessons. And she's like, the master coaches do what you do. It's crazy. They just like start, stop, start. No, back, a little more, stop. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what it is. That's mastery. Mastery is not finishing the piece. Mastery is these little minute moments. So I want you to see the difference when you get through the piece. You get through those like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 lines or words without the pause. And it's like, oh yeah. Oh, that's supposed to be together.
Okay.
It's better. How do I do that? How do I relearn, rememorize in such a way that I'm not stuck in a particular speech pattern? And perhaps I'm saying it the way I think it should sound instead of memorizing and then doing the character work and then just letting the character speak.
Yeah, it feels weird.
What feels weird?
It feels weird to not stop.
Yes.
It's probably because I trained myself to stop.
Probably. And then what's interesting too is when we earn truth, the lines disappear. That's another thing that happens. Because it clicks and then you can't help but go like, oh, that's great. And then it's like, psh, lines are gone. So there's a particular rhythm to certain things, and you'll see now, you'll catch yourself going, oh wow, I keep stressing this word. Every time I force that word. It's like, why am I doing that?
Mm-hmm.
She needs to connect with the person. And I have more insights into your monologue now that I've seen your masterclass audition, because I've seen the longer version of it, so it makes a lot more sense to me. Last question, what's this from?
I don't know. I got it from an audition database.
Interesting.
So it's actually longer, and I cut half of it off. I didn't like the second half, and I rewrote a couple things intentionally. Like we talked about, if you're going to rewrite it, it better be intentional. And so.
Have you seen the new show on Apple, Shrinking?
No. But I was actually thinking about.
It's interesting
Good Will Hunting.
because the one character, he sort of goes rogue.
Oh, okay.
Because Shrinks, for the most part, just listen and go, tell me more about that. He just starts actually giving people advice, which they're not supposed to do. And just telling them, you know what? How about you're an idiot? Or whatever he says, and he starts trying to fix people a little bit, right? So I was like thinking to myself, I wonder if this monologue's from that. Because but it's probably not. But the idea of it is there.
Yeah, I was always thinking Good Will Hunting. When
it could be.
Robin Williams goes off on him, like, you're just a dumb kid, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's what it felt like to me, is like she's begging her to not continue to do this. And this is the only way she knows how to do it.
Could be, but you're playing with fire.
Yeah, yeah.
You're playing with fire.
Yeah.
Even more so than Robin Williams, because you're knowingly pushing the buttons of someone who is claiming to be suicidal. So you better damn know who you're talking to be able to get away with that shit. And I think she does.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thanks. Woo!
Oh, sorry. Was that supposed to be a high five?
No, it was supposed to be a
That's what it was.
I'm overtime again. Can you turn down some air for me, please, somebody? No wonder it's 82 degrees. Jeez Louise. Just whatever. Turn it down until the AC comes on.
Either freezing or.
However low, just keep going down until keep going down. You'll see it. As soon as it turns on, you can be done. One more.
There you go.
All right, here we go.
You don't get it. I've been afraid of my father my entire life. I've spent every waking moment trying to keep him from exploding, and not just knowing, but believing that one day he would kill me, that he'd kill us all. My first memory of him was when my brother spilled a can of paint down the stairs. My parents were painting the house, and Ricky thought it was going to be helpful, but the paint can was too heavy and it spilt everywhere. I held my breath. I don't know why I thought that would help. My father put his fist through the wall, and I screamed, and Ricky and I started crying. And the whole time he kept yelling at us to stop crying. That day I thought he'd kill us both, and my mother couldn't do a thing to help us. I was 4 years old, and Ricky was 2. And I've been living in that hole in the wall ever since. So go read Footprints in the Sand if you want to feel all warm and fuzzy. Because today my father's going into the ground, except I don't remember having a father. A father wouldn't do that to his kids. Scene.
Scene. All right. Don't worry about having to cry.
Okay.
Okay? We always be authentic.
Okay.
Never faking, never pushing. I told that story last class or last group too. I used to do this when I was younger. If I felt an emotion coming, I would be like really leaning into it. I'm like, all right, push out the tear, you can do it. And you don't realize till later, you're like, you don't get away with it. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1. Number 2, you're slow dancing.
Oh.
So we're gonna stop that.
Mhm.
And then everyone can learn from each other's critiques. So for you, it's going to be, you need to eliminate all of the pauses.
Okay.
If you go on the tape and you start to count, every time you stop, and then start, and stop, and then start, count them all, however many there are, and you need to get down to 2 total.
Okay.
It'll be a lot of work to relearn it
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
No, I can walk you. You're good. Oh, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watching John and the Machine, it was suddenly so clear. Of all the would-be fathers who came and went over the years, this thing, this machine, would never give up. The Terminator would never stop, would never leave him, would never hurt him, would never shout at him or get drunk and hit him.
How does she feel?
Like she's trying to validate what she's doing.
What is she doing?
She's giving up, or she's allowing the Terminator to take care of him. And that wasn't something that she was freaking out when she found out that he was helping her son. And now the Terminator is helping her son to help him survive, because it's up to the, society.
How old is her son?
13?
Okay. Does he have a father figure?
No.
Okay.
Kyle died.
Okay. So that's where you go emotionally, and you see that there's a father figure, and just live there. Just breathe. You're married, yeah? You have any kids?
2 hairy ones.
Okay. So you need to put the love you have for your husband into this moment and see him caring for a child, a foster child, somebody who really needs a male role model and didn't know he needed it. And you didn't know he needed it until you see it and you go, oh.
Right.
It happens to us all the time in our marriage. My wife will watch me with the kids, and I just do things she doesn't do. She does things I don't do, but I just can't help it. I throw him. I beat him up. I push him down. I bruise him a little bit. I teach him how to fight. And she would never, ever handle them the way that I do. And I will never hurt them, but I will test them. I will test their strength. You're seeing a loving figure you didn't expect, you didn't think it was possible, and you're seeing potential and hope. So just really reflect and just stay there. It's going to be very soft, I think.
Okay.
Tender.
All right.
Try.
I thought it was more convincing when I was practicing it. It was like
It may be.
I wanted.
You have to be convinced, and
Yeah.
and maybe more. Some of that'll come, but more than anything, I want to see the visual in your eyes. That's what's the most important to me. Is the connection, the humanity. Because it's also a machine, right?
Right.
So, is it just gonna go, and that's what you thought, and now you're looking at it and you're going, could this be true?
Right. In a different light.
Yeah.
Because it tried to kill her.
Yeah.
In the first one.
Yeah. So just take that moment, just see it, and just live that, what I just talked about. Right there. Just find the boy, and just let's go through the beginning there.
Watching John and the Machine. It
Start
was
over.
suddenly
Start
so
over.
clear.
You have to watch it before you say it. You can't
Okay.
rush it.
Okay.
So right there, breathe. Feel. See John and the machine. Feel first before you speak.
Watching John and the Machine. it was suddenly so clear. Of all the would-be fathers who came and went over the years, this thing, this machine, was the only one who measured up. The Terminator would never stop, would never leave him, would never hurt him, would never shout at him, or get drunk and hit him, or say it was too busy to spend time with him.
Yeah, good. Okay, so when you do the work now, there's little emotions that are at the tail ends of what you're saying. Some of that has happened. All these would-be fathers. It's his dad who doesn't show up, who breaks the kid's heart. And you're like, of all the would-be fathers, who would have ever thought? But look at this, it's actually working. And then what your job is going to be as an actress now is going to be, because this is voiceover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your voice is carrying the emotion of a moment. So you have to take us into your memories. You have to create the memories, and you have to go from moment to moment. What is the robot doing? Mind if I touch your head?
Yeah.
You know, he does one thing. He's teaching another thing. He's like, and the kid reacts like that. You've never seen the kid smile like that. You've seen him smile, but not like that. And you need more memories and more things to see, so that you keep feeling. You have to remember the time that the kid was left alone and the dad didn't show up. Remember the time the dad yelled and got drunk and hit you in front of him. All that stuff.
Cool.
Hey, good job.
Thank you. Can you see me? No, I can't.
Less headspace, please. There you go.
I am most selfish. I let my children and grandchildren alone. As long as they are not starving, it is no business of mine to live for them. Do not spend my evening knitting baby socks. I have my opera box. I give dinner parties and entertain distinguished guests. I have my club committees, my charities, and I'm studying art as to be able to add to my husband's collection of paintings as a memorial to him. But you, Agnes, you make your children dependent upon you. You're always nursing some grandchild through something, and you think you must. And they let you think it because they don't want to hurt your feelings by letting you know they don't need ya. As you're taking care of a grandchild, its own mother can go out and play bridge. You save your son a nurse's bill while he goes and spends his money playing polo at the country club. Scene.
You're still not all the way free of it.
No, well, because I missed, I kind of restructured a line.
Yes.
So.
Well, it just feels like you're not free.
Yeah.
That's the way it feels. So
So-
you must earn that.
Okay.
Both within the accent, the body physicality, and the lines. So you've created a nice challenge for yourself. But right now, I'm hearing you working really hard to
Okay.
get through it, and
So
I'm
it doesn't
seeing
go
it.
smooth.
You're not becoming her.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your job. Your job is to see this and go, okay, fine. It's a nice, fine rehearsal, whatever. But I need to do whatever it takes to be able to
Become her.
transform, be free. I call it freedom.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Can you sit?
Can you see me? How are you doing? I have to confess something I'm not so proud of. And as I was writing, I realized that I needed to confess to you first. So here it goes. I resent you for the childhood that I had. I resent you for your impatience, for being scared of doing homework without the fear of being yelled at. I resent you for being ashamed of me.
Do it again. Get to the here.
Fucked up the lines.
There you go. See, and I know, whether or not you know or not, I know something's off. But
yeah, something's off right now, to be honest.
But give me a second. Go to here we go. Okay, go to that moment and pretend like you're reading and just read it.
Like I'm reading the letter?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, looks like it's time. I have to confess something I'm not so proud of. And as I was writing, I realized I needed to confess to you first. So here goes.
Read it. Just get through it. Go.
I resent you for the childhood that I had.
No, just read it.
Okay. I resent you for the childhood that I had. I resent you for your impatience, for being scared of doing homework without the fear of being yelled at, for the kitchen cabinet doors you slammed, for slapping me, the bruises. I resent you for not feeling safe at home. I resent you for being ashamed of me. I resent you for all the sex that I started to have at 13 to prove to myself that I could be loved. I resent you for my wanting to beat the shit out of everyone. I resent you.
Do that again. Don't push shit.
I resent you for wanting to beat the shit out of everyone. I resent you for making me feel so fucking worthless that I settled for a man that I don't.
Good. Now, so that, and you should write this out and you should read it. Okay? Because that's the rhythm of it, actually. And you could read it a little up if you want. You could check in every now and then. But really, that's the rhythm of this. And the thing that's the most important is for you to understand everyone is more important than shit.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you say after fucking?
Worthless.
Worthless is more important than fucking. Fucking is the adjective to let us understand how worthless you feel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say fucking worthless, it's not as powerful as if you say you made me feel fucking worthless. It's like that's the most important thing. Okay? So if you were using that word in a different context, it might be the most important thing. It's not though. So this is the big thing is never get tricked as an actor into accidentally highlighting these sort of like shiny words.
Yeah.
Because most people will do that.
Mm-hmm.
You need to look for what's most important, what's she really saying, and where's the meat, where's the emotion lie.
Mhm.
And it lies in worthless in that particular sentence. And when you play it soft or surprising or whatever on lines like having sex when you were 13, it's more jarring. It's like the example I gave when I was being sweet when I wanted to kill somebody. So give her a little of that. Give yourself some surprises, play some opposites. And I think we talked about you bringing the psycho of her. I want you to find that. I really do. I want you to find the movement of it. I think you should practice walking into a hospital room and you've killed somebody. That will change a person. And this is one of those moments where you're sharing this with somebody who can't. It's like talking to the dog. Right? He's in a coma or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he can hear you, but he can't respond. He can't do anything about it. Hey, I just want you to know. Because I know you can hear me in there. That I fucking own you. Good night, Dad. I mean, there's just this sense of something there. What are you feeling?
I don't know. I'm just I feel like the character is crazy, clearly, because she killed somebody. But I feel like, obviously, she's human. And walking into a hospital room and her mom is laying on the bed in a coma, as much as she hates her, as much as she might be psychotic, that's a bond that can never break in her heart, is from her mom.
Totally. But what is she saying? Think about what she's saying. And yeah, let her feel. But she literally wrote it down. I was thinking about all the people I needed to forgive. And you, Mom, who's on your deathbed, I just want you to know that I fucking hate you. I mean, it's kind of what she's saying. Or I will never forgive you. That's the essence of it. And it hurts. Yes, it's painful, of course. What I'm trying to get across is find the words that are most important. Don't get stuck on the shiny words. Yeah. And experiment with playing opposites. Mm-hmm. So maybe she's not psycho. Maybe she's not. Maybe it's fine. But try it all the way. Serial killer. And see what you find. There might be something there that you can then expand upon. Mm. And she's not a serial killer. But to push yourself into the unknown, into these weird places, you'll find gems that become this whole thing. Yeah. And then the essence is, what is the essence of this moment? Mm-hmm. And what's it from?
Big Little Lies.
Okay, that's a good show.
Also, I was kind of doing something similar to that. I was listening to, I put a playlist for her because I connect with music best. Like, that's how, like, I connect to a character the best. So I put a playlist.
Okay, pause. This is, you can watch this back.
Yeah.
When you watch it back, you're gonna notice how fast you got through the last piece of dialogue you just said to me.
Yeah.
Okay, why? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. Why did I rush through all this information?
Yeah.
To then slow down for something else.
Yeah.
That's the type of thing I'm always trying to get across to people is, we oftentimes when we're acting, we want to like slow down and stop on every moment. Mm-hmm. And it's not meant for that. It's meant for like, what is this piece? And then when does it shift? And how can I surprise? Mm-hmm. You want to surprise you and you want to surprise me. Mm-hmm. You want to demand my attention. If I'm not surprised, if I don't feel like it's an improvisation, if I don't feel a little worried for you that you're going to screw up or that you're going to freak out, then I'm going to relax. You cannot let me as an audience member relax.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to keep yourself on your own toes. Mm-hmm. Surprise you.
Okay.
You can finish what you were going to say.
The songs vary of different emotions, but each song that played, I was doing the monologue, like with this song, like playing in the background very quietly, to kind of lead me into different emotions and places things that she might be feeling through music.
Sure, that's great. That's great. So just understand, if anyone ever has like a favorite show, you might think to yourself like, oh, it's such a bummer when the show's over, when the hour's over or the half hour's over or whatever. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. This moment only gets so much time. Mm-hmm. You must be efficient with the time. You must really get the point out, help us understand whatever the thing is that we're supposed to understand, and what are we trying to get across here, and just be so excellent that honestly we're entertained, we're sucked in. Mm-hmm. And that comes from that idea of disturbing the air. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The air feels a certain way, and boom, I do something that's so jarring that everyone's like, what the hell?
Right.
You want that constantly, over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Hey, good. Thank you. All right, I started off slow, so I ended slow. Sorry. Everyone have a great night.